gonna speak with this tone. We are just gonna get through this. Now, me, I wanna speak to you as a writer. As a writer, there is a lot of projects that I wanna do. I have my newsletter. I have a freelance thing that I wanna do, which is copywriting. You see that copywriting book over there?
Mm-hmm.
I also wanna do fiction. I wanna do a lot of things with writing, but the thing is, I don't know where to start, how to start, or how to keep up with the system.
Mm-hmm.
¿Entiendes? And since I don't know how to do that, I'm gonna start making blogs by myself to do it. The reason why you're hearing this blog is because we live together and you are there and I'm there, and it's gonna be awkward if I just start speaking to myself and you're just there watching me how to speak to myself with a camera. So I decided you to be part of the conversation.
All right.
So now, as a writer, I want to take some notes on myself because as a writer, I'm depending on something. There is something that I'm creating that is called Greatness of Average, which is the name of my newsletter, right? So writing here, Greatness of Average. I don't know. Have you read one of my newsletters?
Yeah.
What do you think cuando tú has leído las cosas que yo he leído? ¿Qué tú piensas? What do you think I'm trying to say?
I don't know. How I see it, it's like you're trying to say your perspective as a writer on like la perspectiva que tú estás viviendo
Mm-hmm.
as a writer, that um as a reader too, because you'll be reading a lot of books, and it's like all the information and how you see it now. You're trying to explain it to your writing thing.
Oh, so what you're trying to do is get through a writing. What I do is I wanna teach what I have learned from books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teach from books, and I also you're saying that through writing, you're also saying that I want to give my perspective in general after I read those books.
Mm-hmm.
So writing also perspective, which includes yeah, se me olvidó lo que iba a decir. Keep going. When you see the name Greatness of Average, that is my brand. That is what I'm trying to. That is the brand that I'm trying to create.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is? What do you think of the name Greatness of Average? What the fuck is that?
Greatness of
Excuse me.
average. It's like I'll say it. It's like you want to explain how great is how great es coño. ¿Cómo sabe?
Keep thinking. So Greatness of Average. What do you think? ¿Qué tú piensas de eso?
I mean, it's like you're trying to explain how great is being good at something.
Can you repeat that one more time?
It's like you're trying to explain how great is being good to on something.
So what you see when you hear the term Greatness of Average, you're saying that what you understand of it is that it is great to be good at something.
Mhm.
That is exactly why I came up with that with that with that name because when I used to, you remember when I was when I told you that some guy wanted to fight me
Mhm.
because I stopped them from robbing a store. I used to work as a loss prevention there. I was basically a security guy, which I hated. The through all that time, I met a guy that was a skater, and I follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, oh shit, he's really good at what he does.
Mhm.
But he does other things, other artistic things that he's really good at. And I'm like, hold on, he's working at a retail store part time. He's great at these things, but in a perspective, he's still average. Greatness of average. He's great at something, but he still lives the life of an average man. I just assumed that because he was working on a part-time job, but then I was like, oh shit, the greatness of average. I was in the gym when that thought came to my head, and since then, what I'm trying to do with greatness of average is be open a new perspective of what it is to get educated without going to college or something like that. I have nothing against it, but get when you self teach yourself something, it's
Mhm.
way different than when someone else try to teach it to you. You know, tú sabes Cobra Kai,
Mhm.
when the Korean guys are fighting and the troublemakers told the other kid, you only know what they taught you. I know, I know this because I thought this myself. That's the difference between when someone self-taught them something, when they learn something from themselves, than when someone else try to teach it to you. That's why when we speak on basketball and someone try to challenge me or something, I'm like, you have no, you can't beat me. You can't. You just can't. I self, I self-taught me myself this. Other people taught me along the way, but most of the foundation was taught by myself. And
Mhm.
that same thing can happen with education, with anything we do.
Mhm.
That's kind of the main purpose that I'm trying to get at, and that's kind of the main thing that I'm trying to explain. But it's hard to explain because I have so many things that I want to do that I don't know what the fuck I have to do first. ¿Entiendes?
Mhm.
Because first, I'm broke as fuck. I have debt, and I'm still living with my mom, and I'm 25. And you're not 20. You're only 15, right?
15.
You're only 15, but once you reach a certain time, like right now I'm 25. I feel like I need to get out of here now.
Mhm.
That's how it feels like. Like there is no nothing to be ashamed of. It's just how it feels. It's just how it feels. And the fact that I feel like, or I actually haven't done enough to get out of here, pisses me off. Y eso me interrumpe a mí not to think about this, which is what I have to, lo que me tengo que enfocar más. Why? Because I'm building a brand from scratch. And this could take me 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But a brand from scratch always works.
Mhm.
I'm not saying this is gonna work the way yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna work, but there is no gap that I can cover with enough time. ¿Entiendes? No, that's what I'm trying to get to greatness of average. Now, but my next step, I don't know what the fuck is my next step is.
How about you do? How about like the first step is something that you could um you could do easily.
I could do easily,
Yeah.
like
It's like, for
something like.
example,
Mhm.
if let's say it's like I want to do first, um, it's like the thing I could get away with it fast. Um, shit, I don't know how to explain it.
Go back from the beginning. You're saying this to start with what comes easier for me.
No, no, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, if something is really hard for you, you should start doing it from now, so you could do the easy stuff like this fast.
So hard first and then easiest.
Hmm.
Like, don't. What you're saying is, if I'm going to hell, don't burn yourself. Just go straight to hell, and you're gonna burn there. That's what you're trying to tell me. That's basically what what you're telling me, because what you're saying is, don't go to the soft spots. Just go straight to whatever it is that you have to do, and from the hardest part, since you're doing it, that's where you're gonna find what it is to do the other things. No sé si hace sentido. So in theory, if I go to hell, if I go to hell, I don't get to pass anything around hell. I just go straight to hell. ¿Entiendes? So what you're saying is, por ejemplo, instead of going to the pulling up to the park to focus in a certain movement of how to do pull-ups, when I never done pull-ups in my life, when all I have to do is just show up and try to do as many pull-ups as I could.
Hmm.
That's basically what you're telling me to do, but with greatness of average. Now, if I were to answer you, which I'm gonna answer you, answering you, what is the easiest thing for me? The easiest thing for me is probably has to be with writing and athletics. Anything that has to do with athletics. Anything that has to do with workouts, this, and that. That is then now that you say that, there is something that I have been developing for the last 2 weeks, which is called the triangle of interest. Un triángulo de interés. So greatness of average and the greatness of average structure is based on the triangle of interest, which is the three things that I identify with the most. I'm an athlete, I'm a writer, I'm a reader. Now, the easiest thing for me, if I were to start, if I were to keep giving life to this, is to, excuse me, represent some sort of fitness community, or do that as a living, or make something out of that, which is becoming a personal trainer or something, as a writer. Okay, that's as an athlete, and also training myself, doing what I have to do to be at the highest level. That's what an athlete does. Now, as a writer, I could do what I was mentioning earlier to you, which is copywriting, freelancing, those type of things. But the reason why I say that is because freelancing is how I'm gonna get money out of writing first, which is I get to write for someone else. I don't get to write when I want to write. That's not the only way I could get paying as a writer, but it's something that I definitely have to try, because there is a lot of demand in that. You know what a supply and demand is? Supply and demand. Demand what people want. Supply, what do you have?
Hmm.
¿Lo entiendes ahora?
Hmm.
On the supply and demand. If there is this basketball game and everyone wants to go, this person bought 10 tickets. The tickets sold out, and this person had 10 tickets to sell. How much do you think they're gonna sell those tickets for? For way more than they bought it for. Why? Because they are on a high demand, and there is only a limited supply, which is 10 tickets. Let's say they paid $25 for those tickets. They're gonna go up to 100 for each ticket. And guess what? Someone is gonna buy it because they are on highly demand. Now something similar happened with anything anyone does as a writer offering a service. And the other type of writing that I want to do, which is the one that I want greatness of average to represent, is the one that I started learning when I started reading, which is self-developing, self-help. I don't want to. I don't like those words, but that's the words that I want. I know now. ¿Entiendes? Now they are different type of writing, but they go hand in hand with each other. Because at the end of the day, it's just writing. Different things, but it's just the art of writing. If I were to tell you what was the easiest to me, I would say those things, but especially as an athlete, that's the second nature for me. Now the one that I'm become in second nature is as a writer. I'm not a second nature as a writer yet. I get too distracted. There is a lot of things that I haven't done as a writer that I have done as an athlete. ¿Entiendes? Now as a reader, it goes along with athlete and writer because reading for me is education. There is nothing else to say about education other than what I'm gonna say in writing or what I'm gonna represent as an athlete. So there is no much to speak about reading because I'm just gonna be showing it. I'm gonna be speaking about it, but I'm I'm gonna be using what I learned through reading to go and do what I do as an athlete and then go and write what I write as a writer. ¿Entiendes? Now that is the point that where I have to get. That's not the point that I'm at right now. I'm just there is a transition that I'm at right now that I'm this is here and I'm here. There is this wall here, which is what I'm trying to break with all of this thing that we're doing now. ¿Entiendes? What you think about that? I know I said a lot, but
I mean, mm,
you are
mm,
speechless.
yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't know what to say.
But I could say that um, at the end of the day, you could choose between the hard way or the easy way first, you know?
In my case, what would be the easiest or the hardest way?
Shit, I don't know.
I don't know neither. I'm trying to figure that out right now in my head. And I said what I said about that being easy, but that's not as easy as I'm saying it right now. It is not. I'm saying it's easy because I'm an athlete and I'm a writer, but I'm not presenting myself to the world neither as an athlete or as a writer. I do say I'm a writer from time to time, but I don't represent myself as much as an athlete anymore. I don't know why, even though I'm a fucking athlete and I'm proud of myself that I'm an athlete, but I don't represent myself as an athlete. That's kind of it's something a bit weird. I don't know because I don't want to be an athlete that just be on social media showing what he does. I don't want to do that at all.
I mean, maybe because um you feel maybe because you feel bad when something has an athlete. You've been doing two things: the basketball and go to the gym.
Hmm.
And maybe by leaving basketball and saying that you're an athlete, it's like te sientes culpable por haber leaving basketball and just stay with the gym, staying fit and all that. But at the same time, it's not like you're moving around the court and shooting and making the shots.
Hmm. Yeah, I do feel good about leaving basketball, but it's because I allowed myself to leave basketball, and I did it out of laziness, out of fool. You remember when I had that long distance relationship?
Hmm.
You remember that? I was so invested on being connected with someone else that I had to choose to have a long distance relationship with someone when we had no plans of living together. She had no plan of coming here. I had no plan of going there. So I was so fucking caught up with that I need attention that ended up happening. And I don't regret it, but fuck, it could have been. I wouldn't say that I could be. It could have been better if it, it didn't happen, but it would have been different. It would have been different because I was craving a connection with someone, but I was not ever. I was never ever anywhere. I was always here because that happened after pandemic.
Hmm.
And before pandemic, even though I was always quiet all the time, I had that drive in me. I used to go to places. I used to do shit. I used to get ready. I used to go and play basketball anywhere, not giving a fuck about anyone. After pandemic happened, that changed. I started giving a fuck a lot. That shit killed me. And I became a pussy in the court. And I got bullied. Like, boom, happened quick. And I'm like, oh shit, this shit is happening to me. And instead of fighting back, I just gave up. That's what I did in basketball. That's when I started working at Marshalls. My last year in college. And then because I was so comfortable having a long distance relationship, I just gave up. I was just like, okay, so now I'm gonna start working, because I want to have a life with this person and da 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 da. Da. I was in that movie of not playing basketball and just staying in the gym.
Hmm.
That's what happened. That's what happened with me in basketball. But if but the part that it is like guilt, it could be. Now, how does someone get out of that guilt? That's a good question. If you were to guess how to get out of that guilt, what would you say?
I mean, Since you're like, if I'm guilty of behaving that way with a sport I've been doing my whole life,
Hmm.
uh, and I already quit, I will probably like get back, try the things I used to do, and if I still can, like I still have it, I could start improving other things, other new things.
In the same sport.
Yeah.
You know that I went last, not this Friday, not yesterday, last Friday.
Mhm.
I went to 161st because I was just walking around and I started playing basketball with someone. I bossed his, I bossed his ass, but I saw the difference between a regular person trying to hoop and a ex-college basketball player playing against that person. When I'm telling you there is a difference between me and a regular hooper, it is a huge difference now, and I see it in my strength and in my size. Even though they are as high as me, they are as tall as me, they are tallest. Their quickness, the release of the ball, the explosiveness, that first step to leave your man behind is too fucking quick next to like comparing them with their reflexes. They don't have enough reflection to try to guess what I'm going next. Or maybe they do, but by the time they're gonna react to it, it's already too late because I'm halfway through already. I noticed that and I'm like, oh shit, hold on. I'm really like this. Y jugando con ese chamo que estábamos jugando regular, like we were having fun. We were just having fun with each other, but I realized that and I'm like, oh shit, I might be on another level, which is that I can come back to play basketball, but I'm not willing to do it. It's like if I have some emotions against basketball now.
Maybe because you're maybe because you do still have that pain, that talent um beat you, even though you was hardworking since you was a teenager, and some random guy that can be tall as you and all that
Hmm.
beat all that hard work that you have.
I mean, that's what I used to think before, and that's what I didn't understand about the work that I was putting in because I was outworking everyone so much that nowadays every single person that I ever saw as superior before when I was in college, when I was playing against them,
Mm.
I see it now and I'm like, no, we can't play a one on one now. We can't play on a team, and you're not gonna play better than me. I outwork you so much that this body that I have right now is because of how much I have outworked you. Because you might look the same, you might be a little bit stronger, you might look this, you might look that, but your body is not structured to specifically do those type of things. And I made myself do that. Then my entire structure, my entire literalmente mi esqueleto completo was taught to play basketball, to stay in a basketball court, and to react as a human being with basketball concepts. That's why when you see me walking, You're gonna see me sometime that I do this, or I do that, or I just behind my back, or I just cross someone, or I just wanna lay it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using those reference. I have done that so much that in my daily life, those are my references to be normal. So you're telling me that because you were better before, you're gonna be better now. When in my lifestyle to be completely normal, I have to do those type of things that are normal for me because of how many times I have done it before. In my nervous system, whenever I walk through a door, I have to cross the door. Whenever I see something tall, I have to clap that backboard. It's just muscle memory, ¿entiendes?
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think of if I ever go back to play basketball, that's just the way I have to see it. Because I don't know, I get whenever I stop playing, whenever I used to play bad, I used to get in a mental trap so bad. Like I used to be in my head a lot when I was in college. As a matter of fact, in high school. In college, I did really good because I was not in my head as much as I was when I was in high school. Mm. Excuse me, I was cooking in college. I was the sixth player. You know what the sixth player is in basketball?
What?
You don't know what that is?
No.
That's the first player that come from the bench. So the first time someone is gonna stop is gonna be that person.
Mm-hmm.
I was that person, and I was averaging 12.6 point per game coming out of the bench. And in basketball, if you are averaging double digits coming out of the bench, you are really valuable because the first five players are the ones who are gonna get time the most to play. Now, if you got a guy that is coming out of the bench strictly to score, motherfucker, we need him. He as soon as he scored more than 10 points, he's really valuable. I was that person. As a matter of fact, in the first game, um, in the first 10 seconds, I scored two threes in a row. Very first game, the very first two plays. That was the give me the ball, I'm gonna shoot it. Boom. We stole the ball, give me the ball again. Oh shit, nah, I'm gonna shoot it again. Boom. I did not waste time in college. And going back to greatness of average, the reason why I want to do that with staying at athleticism with greatness of average is because I understand how important it is to be physically free, being able to run, being able to climb on things, being healthy. I want to promote that as part of greatness of average. Now it's not only like fitness; it's just health. People moving, people jumping, people eating good foods, people healthy. And yo quiero estudiar eso tan at depth that you know that hay ciertas comidas que te hacen ciertas cosas neurológicamente. Do you know that?
Uh-huh.
And we barely take care of that. Yo he pecado de eso, cabrón, yo era gordo cuando pequeño. Yo he pecado de eso de tanto. Comer porquerita. That's really dangerous. Believe it or not. That's really dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. That is why cancer exists. Por eso es que la gente le da cáncer. Son una de las razones, una de las mayores razones por las cuales la gente le da cáncer por lo que comen. And remember, lo que tú comes, esa comida tiene un ADN, ese ADN corre dentro de nosotros. Hay ADN alterados y hay ADN naturales. Hay ADN que nos hacen a nosotros mejores. Por ejemplo, ADN como ADN que contiene proteína y cosas nutritivas para nuestro cuerpo, pues nos van a hacer pues fuertes y cosas así, ¿me entiendes? Saludables, vamos a pensar bien y todo eso. Ahora, cosas que tienen porquerías, mezclas locas, que tú te quedas como que, sí, esto sabe bueno, pero we shouldn't be eating this, because of that. ¿Me entiendes? Hay un ejemplo, uno de esos bizcochitos que hay ahí de chocolate que tiene. Uno de esos bizcochitos que hay de chocolate. They taste good, but that's not good for us. Not at all. That is something that I want to promote
I mean,
as part of greatness of average.
yeah, a lot of people just eat their food because it's good, even though it's bad for your body.
Mm.
If it tastes good, you're gonna want to eat it all.
You know, there is something that I found out about that. Whenever you see people eating by taste, they are not as smart as you think they are. Because cuando tú comes por sabor, you are literally feeding the animal part of yourself. We are humans, yeah, but we're animals. We are animals, motherfucker. ¿Entiendes? And because we are animals, whenever we decide eat by taste, we are feeding that animal and we are allowing our animal to be satisfied with this tasteful type of food, tasteful things. Y pues entramos lo que sea por esa boca. I remember yo recuerdo ¿verdad? Viendo a gente comiendo and they were eating so much that when they finished eating, have you ever ate so much y cuando terminas de comer tú no puedes respirar? Imagine eating like that all day as an adult. Dude, your body would explode. When I'm telling you your body will explode, hay ciertas cosas que ciertos alimentos tienen que si tú los comes de más, they could produce really bad things in your body. And going back to the satisfaction of our animal, whenever we eat by taste, we are literally saying, I don't care about anything else. This tastes good, which means I am appreciating what is happening now instead of appreciating what is gonna happen after I eat this. That the information of what might happen after this is way more important than what it is going on right now. Why? Because what it is going, porque tú te estás comiendo eso, es algo bueno, pero if you follow up with what you're eating, you are cutting some benefits in your life that are related to health. But you don't understand that. You don't actually understand that because you don't want to understand it. And I'm not saying that you don't want to understand it porque ajá, simplemente hay como que certain type of people, they don't understand it because they haven't developed enough understanding to understand that. I don't know how to explain it better than that. But it's like, let's say sex. Motherfucker, once you are 16, you're about to be 16. When you are like 10 years from now, your sex desires are gonna be 10 times stronger than what they are now. Cuando esa cabeza del bicho te comienza a hablar y comienza a estar caliente, cabrón, you're gonna feel the pressure of your fucking life. And it's an exciting pressure, but sometimes it's like, shit, motherfucker, relax. I want to enjoy myself. Now, if you get satisfied that sex drive all the time, you're also satisfying the animal that is inside of us because you are just imagine you just get horny anytime, and anytime you get horny, you gotta fuck someone else. Imagine that. Who does that? Animals. They don't give a fuck about marriage and none of that. Oh, for what? They're free in the world. We, because we have a mind, we have a perception, we are closed in our minds enough just to prevent those things from happening. ¿Entiendes? Religion, all those type of things, they are man created. Eso lo creó un cabrón como tú como yo. Y because of that, pues, ajá, no sé cómo más decirlo. No sé si entendiste lo que te acabo de decir. Or if you have any opinion of what I just said. You don't have an opinion, you don't have anything else to add.
I mean, even though it was created by a a
¿Quién?
huh?
What?
Even though it was created by a man, a lot of people just follow it.
There are people who follow what other people tell them to follow, and there are people who follow what they think is better for them to follow. And most people think that by following what someone else is telling them to follow, they are better off than following what their inner self says they have to follow. ¿Entiendes? That's where I hate with every single part of my family and family members because me, I never follow anything that any of them have ever told me. And the fact that I don't give a fuck because I know what it is to be and to have a free will. They get upset about it, they get offended about it. And me, as someone who felt restrained because of them, I don't allow. I just separate myself from everyone. Because when you grew up in a certain beliefs, certain things that people doesn't do, doesn't say, doesn't speak about, when you grew up around that environment, and then later, or maybe I don't know, a couple of years later, you find out that that is not the best way to live. There is something else besides that. You start questioning your own. Pass me that, please. You start questioning the methods, the family methods, the anything that is going on around you. And once you start questioning that, no answers are gonna follow because I'm disobeying, I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to do, saying things that I'm not supposed to do now. But that is in their perspective because they think I'm not supposed to do this, I'm not supposed to say that, I'm not supposed to talk about that. Why not? Because who says so? They will always find someone to point that to, and they will always use every resource to raise. ¿Cómo te lo digo? They will always use every single resource to keep you away from what you want to follow It's- and they want you to follow what they want you to follow. I think by saying this, I think you should know who I'm talking about. I just don't want to mention it on camera.
Because then when, because it happened a lot. Yeah, I always ask the question, why not? Sometimes they don't have the answer,
Because let me tell you something. Because let me tell you something.
or if they do, for me, it's like doesn't make sense.
It never does. It never makes sense, and it will never make sense. You know why? Because they will tell you what they make sense for them because someone else tell them that. Someone else said that to them, and that has happened in all our entire life or our entire family. I think honestly, I think I was the first one who broke that, but my sister broke it in a way. Mom broke it in a way. I just adopted it completely. And you're living in a completely different environment, but if I were to teach you something, I were to teach you that kind of freedom because you do not want any other person to interrupt how you see your life as. ¿Entiendes? I imagine this used to happen to me a lot. Imagine just being happy because you're happy. Because I don't know, you're just happy. You just wake up and you, oh shit, you woke up, hey. You're just happy. You're a teenager. You're playing basketball. I don't know. You just some shots this summer, and that someone else is bothered because you are enjoying your time doing that. That used to happen. That used to happen. Eso me solía pasar a mí every single fucking day. I was just enjoying myself. Someone else was upset that I was enjoying myself so much. It was always different people, but usually the same ones. And from those moments, I started realizing, oh, so it's not that I'm obviously better off for myself, but this is the type of people that I don't actually want around me. So why would I have them around me? Why would I have them in my ear telling me something I don't want to hear? And it's like, no, I don't fuck with that. That's why with the person that we were speaking earlier, that she want us to believe certain type of things. I remember I was around your age, and she approached me and she was like, "Oh, why are you so different to your family? Like, why are you so? Porque tú no eres tan unido con la familia como somos todos nosotros." And I was calm. I think I was making me breakfast or something. Perdón. I was making me bread. Un pan me estaba haciendo yo. And she approached me to that question. Y yo le dije, I said, there are a lot of hypocrites in the family. And she said to me, not all of us are hypocrites. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she then tried to say something to me for me to feel bad, but I made her feel worse because she was like, oh, you know, when I was your age, I had tremendous admiration. Yo tenía mucha admiración for my grandma. And I'm like, oh, well, I do have the same for this person. And because I did not say her, and because I didn't say nothing else after that, she got offended. She basically turned around. She was like, then I ain't shit. I don't work this family. I don't belong here then. She left and she called my sister, your sister, and I'm crying because I said something disrespectful. and I just answer what you asked me. It's like, so you're telling me you are felt this way because you asked me this question when this was my answer? You asked. Don't ask if you're not ready for the answer.
Yeah, because sometimes they ask you just to because they want to have their own answers, you know. And
Uh-huh.
if they don't, then they get offended. 'Cause it's not like what I thought you would say.
And because that happened a lot in my family, I don't. I'm always away by myself. I always made a priority of take care of myself first before anyone else. I don't know if you remember when we got here. We used to go out a lot. You know what I used to do? Play basketball all the time. That's the only thing I knew what to do. So that's the only thing I was doing. And because I wanted to be a professional basketball player, all I had led is all I had to use was the time to play basketball, practice basketball, to get stronger to play basketball. Now what happened is I was by myself. I self-taught myself how to train, how to do all the crazy things that I did. I think that's what is limiting me now. That old beliefs of judgment when I want to do something that I really want to do. You know how long I've been wanting to pull up a camera and talk shit to a camera? A long time ago. Because I grew up with that. That is because I grew up with that. Sometimes I'm just writing, I'm just doing something that I really like to do, and the thought come to my head that someone invisible is watching me, judging what I'm doing. That's how strong grow. That's how strong the ties you form when you grow up are. I grew up with that. I really, really grew up with that. I think that's why I'm keep. I think that's what is limiting me with a lot of things, and that's why I stay here. I'm still living here with you guys. I think that's why I hate so much a lot of things now. I'm gonna tell you something that I never tell anyone. I have hate every single family member of my family, but you, only because you're you you are living the same. You are living the same as I am doing, but in your perspective. Entiende? Like you, you're just a kid. You haven't got any control of yourself yet. But every single other part of my family members, I resent them in a way, including everyone, because of everything I just said. That's interesting. It's really interesting.
I mean, yeah, 'cause it's like it's like someone, a family member, say something or like giving me advices or something that they believe, even though they're not the only person that believes that. It's also my whole family, and they're telling me that to me. I would just listen to them, you know, maybe just let them talk. But even though I have my own way of thinking,
Uh, once once you reach an age or a certain level of maturity when unwanted advice coming your way, you're gonna block the fuck out of them because you don't want to listen to them. That and I learned this the hard way. I I hang out a lot with Joel El Barbero and his guys. The way they operate is completely different. That's why I like this so much. They don't. They're the one who asks the stupid questions is me. But I ask Joel those questions. When I'm with them, when I'm with him by myself, then that's when I just ask stupid shit. He's gonna answer me in a certain way because that's just who he is. But it's just us. We're just having fun. I'm just asking stupid questions because I generally have those curiosities. But I wouldn't ask that in front of everyone. No, I would ask that to him because he's the one I'm confident talking to him. Plus, tú me entiendes, we have a relationship of a lot of years. We're close to one another. So, yeah. What up? Okay. ¿Qué más que estaba diciendo? I forgot the point. I forgot the point we were trying to do. Oh, they're on one devices. And sometimes when some of those guys are so elite that when they hear someone with the intention of giving them one devices, they walk away. They don't give a fuck. They're like, no, bro, don't talk to me about this. What the fuck you know about this? Like, church yourself. Like, you're gonna come and talk to me about this when I know about this and look all the success that I have with this. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like if I approach an artist, Bad Bunny, of how to make a song, he's gonna look at me like, are you actually are going to give me advice about this? He's not gonna ask that. He's just gonna keep going. But entiende? That's just the same way I see when people try to give me unwanted advices. Like you can keep it to yourself. Relax.
I mean, it does make sense because you're the one who successfully did it in your own way instead of someone else.
Let me tell you this: when you go to PR, you're gonna notice that. You're gonna notice when someone's gonna look at your body and they're gonna tell you, Pacho, tú tienes que hacer esto, tú tienes que hacer esto, tú lo que tienes que hacer es esto, esto y esto. You're gonna see that so much that it's gonna come a point where you're gonna become sick of it. Why are they gonna tell you that? Because you're 16. You're about to be 16. You're a kid, so they feel like they could say what to do to you. That that's what I become. That's what I go in cuando hay gente mayor queriendo darme advices, and I'm like, I mean, the advice that you're giving me, it hasn't worked really well for you, so I'm not gonna do it. And it's not to be an asshole about it, but don't give people advices who look like they know what they're doing if you are not gonna give them a real advice that they will actually fucking listen. Like, let me give you an example. A couple of weeks, I saw a kid in the gym. He had the headband. He had the resistance band in his hips, and the the band was strapped to a pole.
Mm.
So he was going sideways, but he was going sideways, giving a 1-2 step to make it to of a basketball drill. So when I'm looking at him, I know that whenever his step is going right, his right hand has to do this. Because if you got the ball and you go right, the first thing you have to do is drop the ball, make the step, then you bounce it. Now he was doing the drill with that so he could do it quick, but his hand was he was going with the wrong hand. If you got the ball, you got the defender in front of you. If you go to your right, the ball has to be on your right hand. You're going to your right, the ball has to be in your right hand because it's the hand opposite to your defender. So your left is where you are just defend where you have your guy. And he was going through the right with his left hand. I know what I'm gonna say to him, and he's gonna listen to me. What did I tell him? I see what you're doing. I like the drill. Use your right hand. If you go to the right, if you go to the right, use your right hand because your defender is in front of you. If you go to the left, that's your weak side. That's where the defender is gonna whoop. As a matter of fact, you won't be able to bounce the ball if you're going to the right with your left. That's when I came approach to him because I know he's gonna listen to that. I didn't tell him anything else. I just told him that detail. Those type of advices when people approach to you just to tell you a detail of what you're doing, those are actually the actual advices that you want to get because they are seeing you and they're like, they are doing this, but what about this? Let him know about this because I don't know if he knows not notice it. The other day in the gym too, el tipo estaba quería hacer tríceps. He wanted to do tricep. Now he was he was telling me that when he does tricep con el palito, his forearm hurt because he was just taking it from here. He told me, and I looked at him, and I'm like, just because you are, let me see how you place your hands. When he places his hands, I'm like, okay, so you gotta keep it still, and to keep it, you gotta keep it still. To keep it still, you gotta put it in the palm of your hand because you want to target the tricep. You don't want to target the you don't want to target the what's that?
Brazo.
What's that?
I don't know. The forearms.
The forearms. I forgot. I completely forgot the forearms. I mean, even you can do it, if you rather do it like that because it actually works. But if you don't want to feel anything in your forearms, then do it like this. He switched the forearm. He was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know this." There you are. That's an advice that I know you're gonna use. That's a detail. I'm not gonna tell you how to do it. I'm just telling you, oh, this is another way to do it. There you are. Boop.
Yeah, because when you want to train the forearms, your your your
So,
good placement is on the fingers.
aquí en el medio de los dedos. Sencillo. He asked me, and I told him. Pero yo no le dije que lo hiciera de cierta manera. Yo me quedé como, si tú quieres hacerlo, if you want to target this, do it this way. If you want to just target that, do it this way. That's it. I'm not gonna keep talking about things that he didn't ask me for, even though I could, but it's like, you know what? He didn't ask me for it because maybe he knows, maybe he don't. But if you don't act, if you don't keep it, maybe I could mention it to give my perception, but I should have. I remember I was doing shoulders one time, and this one guy, he looked up to me and he was like, "Ven acá, amigo, que te voy a enseñar un truquito," and I'm like, "Nope." I put my headphone and I kept working out. I don't want any fucking truquito. I know what I'm doing. It's un poco way, and I know what I'm doing, and I know the guy who told me is someone who just started doing this a couple of months ago. No, don't talk to me. I could listen to you if I know there is something that's gonna help you, but I know you're gonna tell me a bullshit. I feel it. I've been here for so long that if you were to teach me something, you would have done it already. Not by telling me, but by being you. You learn the most from the guys who are not telling you shit. For they're the guys who are actually doing it. ¿Entiendes? That's from who you learn the most. Quiero café. Quiero más café. Ya terminamos esto. Nigga, talk. Like, do we finish? Do we keep it here? Do we there?
I mean,
You have some opinion about it. I'm asking you for your opinion now. This is your moment to have an opinion.
yeah, we go finish it. I don't know what to talk more.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.